Welcome to TradeTheMBI.com. This is John. This report is for Christmas Eve, partial day. Figured I would just give a highlight of where we're at so that we can develop where to expect things in the coming week. We're still floating right across the upline. We've been in a full negative shakeout though for the last several days, but the market has been holding up just fine, and we've not dipped below the red line. We're close to it, minus 59 right here. At minus 60, it would turn to the red, and we would call it magenta extreme, being below the red line, where we would expect whatever the lows are to be retested. But we're held right here above the ABM yellow, and we've had strong DOC steel. So short-term buyers have been elevating this during the pretty much free fall of DOC red and green. Now, of course, that reset sits at the potential of breakout towards new high levels in that, and that'll be interesting given the fact that the stimulus in that has gone through. Any slight uptick, though, in orange and a rejection in steel, I would think that we would see a bit more selling, at least to potentially ABM. I'm showing magenta here, but we also have the green. But you have the 76%, so it's just right in the middle. From a NQ standpoint, pretty much finishing identical above its ABM yellow as well, and hasn't gone negative. In fact, you had improvement in the shakeout. So you're getting a divergence between the two markets right there. And from a euro standpoint, of course, there was the rejection of the defense bill the other day, which I think they're probably going to work out and go with the bigger stimulus, at least for individuals, not necessarily changing the package. But some of the other fundamental changes that were requested were interesting because they puts uncertainty into the final outcome, because Trump's veto was suggesting that he wanted certain other provisions added that related to big tech and things like that. And if any of those were to go through, that could have a definite impact on the NQ as well as the ES. So the NASDAQ and the S&P would certainly be impacted, and whether or not they'll override the veto. So some of those uncertainties certainly have potential for outside market effect. From a gold standpoint, holding on, and they're just waiting, I think, on this one to see. This is quite the inversion, usually a bit negative, so we'll see. And I think that veto may have created a little bit of disrupt, if you want to call it that. So from the video, I had marked right here when we started the positive extremes, where things were likely to go. We had this one right here, the one right back here literally was filled already when it started the next one, which we marked here at 74. So in a long run up prior to the open, we had the opening session, which really didn't, I mean, it was slow. Let's just be real, and not surprising, I mean, heading up into the holiday, but we had a couple of key DOC spreads that were worthwhile. In this particular case, as we were coming across, you ended up with that slow ebb again. There's that steel dipping below zero with the orange that led to the last spike that took place, but then produced really excellent secondary short opportunity, and literally just held this all the way through to the bell, and literally filled it right there just before the close of the extended post 15 minutes, and then sure enough bought it all the way back up to 50% right from there, and puts us above that 85 level, which was another positive extreme that took place right over in here. And then from up above, we just have some additional levels from before. So all in all, excellent action. And again, pretty interesting, because like even here when we ended up with this dip below, It took so long for orange to finally come down. This was no longer a significantly pertinent detail. At that point, what we ended up here was the move above plus 13.5 on the dip below the orange. That had actually a bit more to it because that's coming from underneath, and that allowed for the move back above the 13.5, which is what's carried it to where it is currently. But won't be much action for today, and everything will have to begin beginning of next week, post Christmas holiday, and same thing. We'll cover it all until New Year's, and then it'll get interesting because then you have the January 6th meeting of Congress, and whether or not this will get resolved will certainly, at least the veto situation, I think is potentially going to be an interesting one to see how that plays out. So as always, I will update anything relevant on the Skype chat at the beginning of the week. Everyone have a great holiday, and we will talk again later.